Hello and welcome to another GamesRadar Hot Lap on F1 2013. This time we're going to be tackling another classic mode time attack, but this is the 90s DLC, which is coming out this week, or if you've got the classic version of the game you can already play it. It's Nigel Mansell's 1992 FW14B. The finest race car ever made. I mean, it's so technologically advanced. It had traction control and active suspension. Ironically though, we're not going to be using the traction control because we're going to do this with no assists whatsoever. People complained last time that it's cheating to use traction control, and to be honest I agree. So this is absolutely full manual gears. We're using an Xbox control this time. This is the Xbox 360 version of the game. And we're racing at Estoril, which used to be the Portuguese Grand Prix track. It's actually not been the Formula 1 Grand Prix track in Portugal for so long. I think the last time I raced on it was Super Monaco Grand Prix. I was 10 when I was watching this car. Anyway, enough of that, let's get on with the lap. Okay, the game gives you control going into the parabolica here, and it doesn't give you control in a very good point on the track. It should be further on the left. So you've got to get the best drive you can. You want to carry as much speed over the line as possible so that the Gold Ghost doesn't get a decent start on you. Coming down into the first corner, you just want to shift down one gear into 5th. You can see on the road that there's actually a dark line from all the other cars that have driven through this corner. So you want to stick on that, shift down one gear as I say, and just let off the throttle a little bit. And you can actually coast through the corner after your initial braking, but you just want to use the analog control and gently coax the car through the turn. I've been perhaps a little too gentle in coaxing it this time. As you can see, I'm on the curb on the exit of the corner, quite a long way off the road. Now the game hasn't penalised me for that, but this is about as far as you can get off the road before it will penalise you and your lap will be aborted. So we'll bring the car back on. For this right-hander, again just dip the throttle just a little bit to make sure that you don't go over the curb on the exit. If you do go over this curb on the exit, then the car will start to bounce because these are very high curbs. And if it does bounce and you've got the assist switched off, then you're not actually going to be able to stop for this next corner. The wheels will lock and you'll be off into the sand trap, and that's no fun at all. Brake onto the bridge, down into first gear, keep the car in neatly to start with, but then coax it through on the exit, feeding in the power. Now, you've got to feed in the power so gently with the traction control switched off, otherwise the wheels will spin and you won't be able to get any drive out of the corner. So, coming up this hill, you see this big sign on the left-hand side? Well, that's your braking point. You want to brake there. It feels like you should be going faster, but you've got to get back on the brakes there, back down into first gear for this next left-hander. Again, keep it nice and neat on the inside, feed in the power on the exit. Finally, you can put your foot down and race down this section through the right-hand kink. Now, you're looking for the 100-metre board on the left. There it is. You want to brake as the car passes that point on the track, so not actually when the 100-metre board leaves the screen, but when you pass that point. Down into third gear for this left-hander. Now this left-hander, if you do keep it in really tightly, seems to have 3 minor apexes on the curb. You know, there are 3 sort of jutting out points. But really you only want to be interested in hitting the first one. After you've done that, you want to feed in the power and the car will naturally move out over towards the right hand side of the track, and that will give you fantastic exit speed. Again, you're looking for the 100-metre board for this corner. Brake down into first gear, short shift into second so that you can get some drive out of that without spinning the wheels. Now this right-hander up here, if you're really reckless you might be able to take it flat out, but I wouldn't advise that. You'd have to chuck the car over that inside curb, risk getting a corner cutting penalty. So instead we're just going to dip the throttle a little bit, use the analog steering, follow that dark line on the track again and get a better, smoother line through the turn. Now this turn carries on to the right with a second apex, but this right-hander is something and nothing. You basically have to get the car on the right-hand side ready for the left-hander that follows, because that's pretty much the most important corner on the track. As you see here, we're going to hit the apex on the left-hander, but we're in third gear, and you don't want to get too much exit speed, which sounds ridiculous, but you want to keep the car as far left as you can going through it. Anywhere from the middle of the track onwards is fine. So we're coming out of this corner in the middle of the road. Now that gives us a chance to just get over a little bit to the left before the parabolica so that we can feed in the power and basically floor it all the way through this massive right-hand turn. If you do that right, then the car won't understeer off the track. You'll get a fantastic speed over the line, and as you can see, we've smashed the gold medal time. We've got a 1 minute 11.136, which is pretty superb. To be honest, the first thing you're probably going to want to do is head out onto the track for another lap. because it's just that fun. There's actually still a lot more time to be had in this. It really makes a difference how smoothly you feed in the power and basically how smoothly you drive the car. I mean, Alan Prost famously said, if it looks like I'm going fast, I'm not, and that's very true of this. If the car looks like it's going raggedly over the curbs and everything, you're probably not going as quickly as if you just keep it neat and feed in the power well. So that's my advice. Keep checking GamesRadar and our YouTube channel, feel free to subscribe, because we've got more Formula 1 2013 content coming every Sunday. So look forward to that. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.